Alright, this is Lights Out Ace, and I've got a real spicy one for you here. So, I played this on stream last Sunday and did very well with it. Actually climbed like more than 100 ranks in Masters into top 40. No one seems to believe me. I don't know. I guess they don't want to go and watch like 3 hours of me playing Knucklebones, so I'll do a deck tech the old-fashioned way. So, this deck is based around Knucklebones, which is a new, super jank-looking legendary from Omens of the Past. It seems like a straight memes card, but it's actually really good. So transforming each card in your deck into a random card means that all of your power get transformed too. And there are over 700 cards in Eternal, and only 36 of them are what I would qualify as useless cards, that being like powers, like seats, banners, favors when you are very unlikely to have any sigils in your deck, secret pages, find the way, that sort of stuff. So like you're very, very likely to just be drawing 2 gas cards every single turn. And even though like your cards like suck, like, because probably half the cards just in the game are just draft chaff. When you're drawing 2 of them per turn and your opponent still has power in their deck, you're basically up 1.95 cards to like 0.65 cards, so you're kind of up 3 to 1 over time. So the whole deck is basically just card draw and removal, and you stall until you drop Knucklebones, and then you win the game just by overwhelming your opponent slowly. So I maxed out on Knucklebones and 1 Omen just fine, because like you can't win without Knucklebones. And the reason it's this way, like 4-1 in favor of Knucklebones instead of the other way around, is that Knucklebones actually stacks really well. Like if you have 2 of them, you're drawing 3 cards per turn instead of just 2, which is pretty sweet sometimes. So then to survive until turn 7, which is a long time, we're mostly removal and card draw. So like 4 Obliterates, 4 Wisdoms, 2 Polymorphs. Skycrag doesn't have a lot of good removal for stuff like Sandstorm Titan, so that's what the Polymorphs are for. Obliterate's kind of expensive. Lightning Strike, Lightning Storm, Torch, Permafrost, etc. Then we have Assembly Lines and Borderlands Waykeepers as just like early blockers mostly, so we don't have to spend removal on every little dork there is, and we can like get more valuable Lightning Storms, for example. And then since Knucklebones does transform your whole deck, but not your hand, you can sometimes have more than 7 power in play at a time if you had other power in your hand when you play the Knucklebones. So you're allowed to play like more power. Like I have 32 here. You could go even higher. I could see like 34, 36 even. Just because you won't draw anymore once you Knucklebones. So 4 Islands favor is super important, because if Knucklebones does get destroyed by like a Furnace Mage or a Shatterglass Mage, or even I've seen Ruin on ladder, there's a lot of crazy people out there right now. If your Knucklebones gets destroyed, then you're back to like 0.98 real cards per turn to 0.65, but your opponent's cards are probably twice as good as yours. So like you probably lose if your Knucklebones gets destroyed. So that's why there's 4 Islands favors to gain face Aegis. And Kaleb's Choice helps there too, can counter the Ruins. So Kaleb's Choice is actually probably one of the better cards in the new expansion as well. Negating an enemy spell of a single faction or killing an enemy attachment of a single faction is most of the stuff you'd want to hit. Like, you can't negate other copies of Kaleb's Choice, but you can negate like Obliterates, you can negate the Ruins, you can negate like Channel the Tempests and matchups where that's important, and then you can kill Xenon Obelisks, you can kill Hammer of Mights. The only things that it misses that you're really sad about is Chalice, Crystalline Chalice, although I have outgrinded several Chalice decks with Knucklebones. It's actually amazing how strong of a grinding tool Knucklebones is. And it also can't hit Deep Forge Plate, which is a big problem, because you often have a lot of little dorks like Waykeeper, Assembly Line, like random jank little guys from Knucklebones, and so Rakano is kind of a tough matchup if they land a plate. So this deck obviously can outvalue any slow deck really, really well, but aggro decks are sort of a problem. So the super burn focused ones, like the newer Skycrag lists and some Stone Scar burn decks, Islands Favor gains you a ton of health against, since you're actually fine. But the more unit based ones, especially Rakano, is certainly a bad matchup. I am something like 2 and 5 against Rakano. Like, it's really bad. So if there's a lot of Rakano around, don't play this. But if it's just like Stone Scar burn and Skycrag burn, this is fine. Like, you might be like slightly unfavored, but it's not awful. So other new cards I'm playing is Torgov. This guy is just unreal. Like, this is like one of the reasons to play Primal. Like 4 power, 4/5, that's solid. Then when it hits the enemy player, you get to draw and discard. That's so good. You can pitch extra power, you can pitch cards you can't play. Like if you Knucklebones into Roland's Favor or something, then you can hit with Torgov and pitch it. And then the +3/+3 actually happens more than you'd think. Like, I've certainly won games with just a couple 7/8 Torgovs beating down. And then what I'm playing is Trailblaze. This card probably isn't generally a 4 of in these decks. Like, you probably want to play like 2 or 3, just kind of a filler, like having removal and finishers is more important. But since I don't need to squeeze any extra finishers in this deck, I can just play 4 Trailblaze. It's just really nice to dig towards Knucklebones, since you really can't win without it. and also to smooth out your power versus non-power. Like, say you have a Knucklebones, but you only have 5 power, well, you can Trailblaze, and then you have like 2 looks at drawing a power for your next turn. So just helps smooth out the draws. So that's the deck. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'll be coming up with another video with a little bit of gameplay shortly.